it's so mind blowing that the old way of looking at psychology is kind of being turned upside down with the use of these substances that have been illegal for I think like 50 years. I'm not really quite sure about the time.
Yeah, and that, yeah.
Yeah. So what research is like currently happening now that you are most excited about? Are you aware of new studies that MAPS are doing?
Yeah, MAPS is right now in with their MDMA, which their primary area they're researching that for is for post-traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done a lot of work with like veterans, victims of sexual trauma, and that's part of their approach, which I love. They're going after these groups that traditional therapies and medications don't really touch, right? And so the results, the outcomes for these groups are awful. You have extremely high suicide rates. These are people that are severely debilitated in their life. And in the case of veterans, people who have really put their life on the line for others. So they've been utilizing it for those groups, and now they're just moving on to what they call phase 3 trials. And that's the last step. It's the more wide scale studies. And if that goes similar to phase 1 and phase 2, then we're looking at probably, my guess would be about 2 to 3 years before MDMA could be fully approved for therapy. There's some question marks there, but they're right now MAPS is in the process of getting it approved for expanded access, which would mean they could actually use it to treat people outside of trials. So those with PTSD would be able to go to certain clinics and actually get treatment. So that's super exciting. Another thing that's really exciting me is at Johns Hopkins. They just opened, I think it's like the largest psychedelic research center in the world. Roland Griffiths is the one heading that up, and it's the cool thing about this like new wave of psychedelic research is the people that are heading it up, their records are impeccable. He had a long history of doing drug research, and was one of the most well regarded in his field before ever stepping into the psychedelic field. So he's not seen as this kind of fringe guy. He's got the credentials. But part of what they've been doing there is they've been exploring not just for treating the unwell, but psychedelics to potentially enhance those that are doing fine in life, but maybe could do better than that. It's this kind of this would be the more like humanistic psychology area, which doesn't look just in terms of treating pathology or illness, but looks at actually this idea of like self-actualizing. So they're doing a study right now. I think they're almost done with it on. They've taken different seminarians and clergymen. So I mean, I think they've got various like branches of Christian clergy, other faiths like Hinduism and Buddhism, and so they're seeing if it enhances their spiritual practices, and then also if that has benefit to kind of what they can bring back to their different spiritual communities, and enhance what they offer there.